Hello and welcome. We begin with Uganda, which is now in a diplomatic standoff with Germany. Uganda's army has announced the suspension of all military ties with Germany. The East African nation has accused Berlin's ambassador, Matthias Schauer, of engaging in subversive activities and being wholly unqualified to serve in Uganda. Now, Schauer has been Germany's ambassador to Uganda since 2020. However, Uganda has not provided evidence to support its claims. Now, Germany has called the accusations absurd and without any merit. The move marks a sharp diplomatic rift between the two countries. This unusual attack on the German ambassador followed his reported criticism of Uganda's army chief, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, and the son of longtime President Yoweri Museveni. As per reports, Museveni's brother, General Salim Saleh, held a private meeting with EU diplomats last week, where the German ambassador expressed concerns over Kainerugaba's controversial tweets and their reputational damage to Uganda. Now, General Kainerugaba is known as Uganda's controversial king. He has made bizarre public statements, from threatening to invade Kenya to declaring love for American pop star Beyonce. Recently, he threatened to behead Uganda's main opposition leader, Bobi Wine. Now, he also boasted about torturing Wine's bodyguard while in detention. Human rights groups have long accused the Ugandan government of cracking down on opposition, especially ahead of elections. Critics say the country is now ruled by a family dynasty. The army chief, however, denies that the German ambassador's comments triggered the suspension of military ties. In a post on X, he said that the decision has nothing to do with the great German people, whom he claims to admire a lot. But he added that he found the ambassador wholly unqualified to be in Uganda. The Ugandan military says the decision was based on credible intelligence reports, alleging that the German ambassador was involved in subversive activities. They say the suspension will stay in place until the matter is fully resolved, including alleged ties to the pseudo-political military forces operating against the government. The full extent of military cooperation between Uganda and Germany is not specified. German officials say bilateral trade between the two countries was worth around $335 million last year. Uganda also remains heavily engaged in peacekeeping, particularly in Somalia, which is partly funded by the European Union, of which Germany is a member. But the big question now: how will Uganda's military strategy be affected by cutting ties with Germany? And what does this diplomatic fallout reveal about the current political climate in the country? Now, to discuss further, we have with us Dr. John Sunday Ojo, postdoctoral research fellow at the Institute of Security and Global Affairs at Leiden University, who is joining us live from the Netherlands. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, what are the likely implications of Uganda's decision to sever military ties with Germany on regional security cooperation and also military training programs?
Yeah, if we look at the bilateral relationship between Uganda and Germany, we may consider that Germany has been offering capacity building and military training to the Uganda People's Defense Forces. And also, Uganda also plays a pivotal role in regional peacekeeping efforts, especially its role is also acknowledged in the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, which was partly funded by European Union and including Germany. So this may have a kind of a disruption between, especially as it regards to this security architecture between the two countries. And also, looking at the training of Ugandan military forces, the standoff may also impact the counter-terrorism efforts. This holistic event, I think it demonstrates a kind of interplay between domestic politics and international relations, where diplomatic tussles may have broader consequences on security cooperation.
And how significant is Uganda's accusation against Ambassador Schauer, and what might it indicate about the state of diplomatic relations and also of internal political sensitivities?
Yeah, an allegation of subversive activities was levied against the ambassador, although he had publicly criticized Uganda's human rights record in the past, especially regarding the 2020 protest and how the government treated opposition leaders. These criticisms were based on the forced disappearance and lack of accountability. I think the Uganda government's reaction demonstrates domestic affirmation of sovereignty and the prevention of foreign influence in domestic affairs. We have witnessed a similar occurrence in the US, where South African diplomat was expelled due to the disapproval of Trump's administration.
And Doctor, in your view, could this move reflect a broader shift in Uganda's foreign policy or alliances? And how might it affect its relationships with other Western partners or international donors?
Yeah, Uganda may consider partnering with other countries that are not too critical of its internal governance. This may provide enabling environment for realignment with non-Western powers, such as Russia, Turkey, China, and Gulf states, which may provide infrastructure and arms with fewer political conditionalities. This signals a profound decline in Western influence and dominance in Africa.
Right, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for being with us on First Post Africa.
Thank you.